So another good thing to do with charge characters is to buffer the charge while whiffing a fast attack. So, by the way, whiffing means when you're doing a move that's not in contact with the opponent. So for Guile, I can be whiffing jabs, just constantly pressing jab, but I'm holding the charge at the same time, and then I can just do the sonic boom and just I'm holding the charge and buffering it. And this is good because that way Guile's just not walking backwards all the time, just getting further and further away from the opponent. If you want to stand your ground and zone them out. Also, crouching with the charge is good too. To do a charge move, you don't have to hold back. You can hold down back, and you're holding down and back at the same time basically for the charges. So you can either do a flash kick if they jump, or you can just press forward and punch to continue doing a sonic boom. You can also use moves that make you advance forward. So Guile's back weak kick makes him lunge forward, but I'm still holding back while I'm doing it. Thus I'm keeping the charge, so I'm buffering back, and I can just press forward, punch, and I can get closer to him while charging a back move, so basically the opposite. This is very important to know if you play a charge character and you're just starting out in Street Fighter. It's because of buffering that also makes combos like this, for example, possible, because you need the charge to do the sonic boom. So what I'm doing is when I'm jumping, as I jump with Guile, I immediately hold back, and what I'm doing is I'm buffering the charge while I'm in mid-air, and then I land and I continue the combo, and then I already have the charge stocked and ready to go, and then I release it at the very end. Okay, so I'm going to show you a really good trick here called pre-charge buffering. Well, I call it pre-charge buffering. Anyways, is when you do a charge move, say DJ's Fireball, you hold down back and you press forward punch. Instead of pressing punch after you press forward, instead go down back, forward, then to back, and then press punch. So what you're doing is you begin charging before the move even happens. So let's watch. And the game remembers that you press forward already, so it still comes out even though you press back last in the command. So what this does is basically it makes you be able to do charge moves faster than usual. And this is how you see characters like DJ with slower fireballs, or Chun-Li. This is how you see them do fireballs so quickly and keeping up with characters with much faster fireballs, especially in the older Street Fighters when you see like Guile's doing sonic booms like crazy 2 times in one combo and whatnot. That's why this is where pre-charge buffering comes in. So once again, it's just down back, forward, then to back, and then press punch. So also, pre-charge buffering with characters with safe charge moves is also an effective technique. Okay, so what I said before was how you can use buffering offensively and defensively. I'm going to show an example of that. I'll start with offensively. So what I can do is I can whiff a normal with Honda, and I can start buffering his ultra throw motion during the time his short kick is coming out. I'm going to use short kick with short kick. And what this does is, since I'm buffering it during the short kick, Honda's not going to jump because he can't cancel it with a jump. So to set this up, what I'm going to do is knock down Akuma, and as he's getting up, I'm going to whip the short, start buffering the motion so I don't jump, and as he's getting up, I do the ultra. Another offensive example would be using Akuma's crouching medium kick, and then while I'm doing the crouching medium kick, I'm buffering his Raging Demon ultra. And what that does is, basically I'll activate the Raging Demon. If someone jumps in on me and I do a crouching medium kick, I'll be lower to the ground than usual, and I can use it as like an anti-air, and their attack will miss me, and then the Raging Demon comes out and hits them while they're still recovering from their attack.
Prepare yourself. God will tell the death.
Okay, I'm going to show some defensive examples of using buffering, and you guys are gonna love this one. But when you're blocking an attack, and if the attacks they're tight enough, basically you don't even have to hold back after the first block. So basically, if someone's doing crouching jab, jab, jab on you, and you're blocking it, you can let go of the joystick and you'll still be blocking. And because of that, you're able to buffer certain motions, like an uppercut, for example. So what you can be doing is you're blocking a series of attacks, and then you're just mashing down forward just constantly, and you're pressing punch, you're just mashing uppercut basically. So at the first opportunity when the window is open, the uppercut comes out because you're buffering it. Now a lot of you guys, I know you guys hate uppercut mashers. It's a very scrubby tactic, and believe it or not, top players actually do them. Even in top ranked matches you see uppercut mashing. There's two solid ways to counter it. I'm going to show two quick ones, and they're really simple. The first obvious way to counter it is, well, not playing online would be nice, but we don't have the luxury of, you know, having good players in our area. So online's a problem always, because you're always going to be dropping your block screens. But one way to counter it is to make sure your tight strings have enough frame advantage to make no gaps in your combos. Now, this is very character specific, but you need to check the frame data if you want to know if your block string is solid or not, doesn't have any gaps. So you have to have frame advantage on every attack you do, so they can't squeeze the uppercut in when they're mashing. So for example, Ryu doing crouching light punch, he's always at frame advantage during each crouching light punch. If they block, they can never uppercut mash through that. Another example would be Bara's crouching jab, you know, things that give really high frame advantage. But like I said, it's character specific, and you need to check out the frame data to fully know if your block string is tight enough. The second way is to drop your combo on purpose, anticipate them mashing the uppercut, and then punish them for it. You can do that just by stopping your combo midway and just blocking, or if your character has a good enough backdash, I prefer backdashing so they can't FADC the uppercut, making it safe. Another defensive way is using Wake Up Ultra, basically buffering the Ultra motion when you're knocked down so that as soon as you stand up you do the Ultra immediately. Everybody does this. Let me show an example.
Come at me from whatever direction you love.
Okay, so another example of buffering would be the stick out pokes. Any type of normal that would cancel into a safe special move. And you buffer the special move even though you're not in contact with the opponent. So I'll do a crushing medium kick with Ryu, for example, and I'm doing a fireball during the animation of the kick. And what this does is, if the kick comes in contact with the opponent at all, then the fireball will come out. Whether they block or they don't block, the fireball is safe. So it's kind of like fishing. Well, I call it fishing. Fishing pokes. And it can be effective for characters with safe special moves. And also don't forget, you can also buffer during a dash or a back dash. So for example with Zangief, I can do a forward dash and then buffer the Ultra 360 motion and then hit 3 punches as soon as the dash is ended. Remember, you can't cancel the dash, so you have to basically time it so that the motion ends as soon as Zangief is done his dash. So this will be easier or harder depending on how quick the dash is. Also, you can do charge ultras from dashes as well, and you just charge down back and then input the dash, and since you've inputted the dash and already pressed forward, all you have to do is press back forward and then 3 punches or 3 kicks. Let me show an example. Remember that once again you cannot cancel the dash. So what you need to do is time it so that right when Balrog has done his dash, so right when he stops, that's when you press back forward and then 3 punches or 3 kicks. What this is useful for is for people to misjudge the distance you are away from them when they're doing attacks, like fireballs for example. So the opponent might think he's at a safe distance, but he's really not if he uses dash ultra. This is also useful for characters like Blanca when you dash in and they might think you're trying to go for a throw when you're really doing ultra. They attempt to do a throw and they're really hit by the ultra. You can also do this with complicated motions by dashing ultra with ultras like Guile's flash kick ultra. Now this is really difficult, but I'll try to explain it here. So you charge down back and then you dash, and as you input the dash, on the second forward, you slide the joystick from forward, down, to back, to up back, and you press all 3 kicks when your dash ends. So basically you're doing a 270-degree motion backwards after you dash. So let me show it.
Here we go. 1, 2.
So you gotta do, well, as you're dashing, you gotta do that nice smooth motion backwards. Press 3 kicks right when your dash ends.
Here we go. 1, 2.
This is useful for Gala because when people jump in on you from really far away, they might think that they're safe and you can probably catch them.
Here we go. 1, 2. Strike.
Dash Ultra is one of the main things you have to learn with DJ to do one of his best combos.
Better than my feet.